So now that we got the starter diamond rankings out of the way and we got ourselves the how to create a ball player out of the way, now it's time to find the best settings to play Diamond Dynasty at. So to do that, we're going to go all the way down to the bottom to where it says Options Explorer, and it doesn't matter what stadium you pick, none of those settings matter. We're just trying to get into the game and see each category and each interface that is available to us. Now, if you do end up enjoying today's content, make sure you hit that like button or subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, join the family of Loyalty Kingdom and become a member if you would like to as well. Click on the channel community tab, interact with me there. More Blademas section, subscribe to my other YouTube channels, and then follow me on all socials at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch at Blademas. So we go to hitting right here. And zone hitting is the best. Basically, you get a plate coverage indicator and you can design it as you please within the design limits. And all you do is you basically trace the ball with the plate coverage indicator, and if the ball is within the plate coverage indicator, the hitter will make contact depending on your timing. So that is what most hitters use. That is what most competitive players use. For base running, most use default. What this does is you go ahead and press L1 to advance all of the runners, R1 to return all of the runners, and if you want to control only one runner at a time, all you have to do is point to that runner and send them to whichever base it is you want him to go. So that is what I did right there. I pointed toward the runner at second base and I pressed X to send him home, and then I pointed towards Mookie as he was heading to first base and I pressed triangle to send him to second base. You can tell each runner individually where to go if you would like to, or you can just hold L1 or R1 to either advance all or return all. Now pitching, this is the more difficult aspect of it because Pinpoint is a brand new interface that a lot of players have not mastered and will not master for a while since it's brand new. There is Meter, which is a timing mechanism where you go ahead and try to time how fast you want to throw it by that yellow to red line towards the back. If you press it earlier on the yellow, the pitch will be slower. If you press it later on towards the red, the pitch will be thrown faster, I believe. And then you have to time it back to where you press X again when it's on that yellow line. And if you do that perfectly, you get a perfect release. And then there's Pure Analog, which is what I currently use. And it's the same sort of thing as Meter and Pinpoint combined into one, but it's a lot easier. It's the easiest one out of all three, and it's my favorite one out of all three. All you do is select the pitch, select the location with your right analog stick. You try to hit that yellow line and then send your right analog stick in the direction of wherever that red ball is presented at, and that is basically how you pitch with this. Now, as I said previously, for pitching, there are multiple interfaces that you can use. Pinpoint is not the best in the world when it comes to user-friendly. Meter, very user-friendly. Pure Analog, very user-friendly. Now, the distinction between these two and Pinpoint is that Pinpoint, although it is not user-friendly, it's the most competitive one in terms of the most accurate when it comes to pitching, if you have mastered it. If you haven't mastered it, you're going to fail horribly. And then these, they're least accurate, or less accurate, I should say, but very easy to master. If I were a new player, I'd try out Pinpoint pitching for a couple of games. If there is no way in hell I can master it, then I would just switch to Meter or Pure Analog, whichever one of the two you decide works best. Then for fielding, you always want to have drifting ball on. You don't want any of the other two options. You want to see where the ball is hit, and you also want to see where the ball will land. And then all you have to do is put your player in a position to make the catch within that circle, and then you're good. That's how you go ahead and select the best setting for fielding. And then for throwing, very important, you want button accuracy on. What button accuracy does is it will not allow you to make a throwing error as long as you put the yellow line that you guys are going to see in the green. So as long as you do that, you're never going to have a throwing error. And it's affected by the player's accuracy. The more accurate the player's arm is, the bigger the green margin is. The least accurate the player's arm is, the smaller the green margin is. And difficulty of the play also has an effect. For example, if I were to dive and make a diving play trying to throw to first base, the green margin would be smaller because it is a more difficult play. And that right there is how you go ahead and set your button accuracy, set your throwing. So right in this game, right in this screen, all we're gonna do is exit Options Explorer and enter game. And now comes the fun part. We're gonna first tackle, hitting. So we're going to go to team select, and you're going to select the away team that's hitting right there. Now, there are different hitting views, as I've said previously, and you pick which one works best for you. Strike Zone, the one that I'm currently using, is the best for competitive gameplay. When it comes to the in-play view offense, there it is up to you, personal preference. I like it high, so it shows me a high angle of where the ball will land. There are different options such as broadcast, retro, dynamic, medium. You can experiment with that yourself and see which one you like best. Then, as I said previously, the play coverage indicator, which is the white lines you see on my screen, you can go ahead and change what you see in the middle of it, which is PCI center. The inner, you can have something on the outer. You can change the color of it, the transparency, and you can have certain parts fade out as the pitcher is about to pitch. All of this is personal preference. You have to find what works best for you. The circles and wedge work best for me. It might not work best for another hitter, for example. Now we're gonna go and once again, team select and go to pitching. So once we select team select again and switch to pitching, you will see that just like hitting, pitching is going to have different settings in terms of the interfaces, which we already went through. You're gonna have different settings in terms of the pitching view. I like being behind the pitcher. The downside to this is when there's a runner on second base, you can't see the lead they're taking, and if they're stealing, you can't see that neither. But runners on the corner, you will be able to see that. Now, a lot of people also like using the pitching view that is called strike zone, which is the hitting view as well. And the reason for this is it allows them to dot pitches up a lot better, basically put pitches right on the line, because it's a lot more zoomed in and you're pitching from the catcher's angle. So the downside to that is timing, unless you know the pitcher really well, is going to suffer a little bit. But the upside to it is you will always know when a runner on second base is taking the lead as well. So you have to pick which one of the two you believe is best for you. Those are usually the two most used, but you can go ahead and try each and every single pitching view and find which one works best. Now for the pitch and ball marker, there's only two options I suggest. Either you have the pitch trail on or you have classic on, So let me show you what classic on means. Classic on means that it will show you the pitch and where it will drop to, and that shaded area is basically where it can land. Anywhere inside that shaded area, it will have the movement of each and every single pitch. A fastball is obviously going to be a pitch that's going to go straight to where you want it located at if you get a perfect release. A changeup is going to have some vertical movement, and each pitch has different movement. That's with classic on. If you're a new player, you might want to have that on. Pitch trail on, what that does is wherever you put the pitch at, regardless of whether it's a curveball, regardless of whether it's a changeup or slider, wherever you put that pitch at, if you get the perfect inputs, you're gonna get the pitch to land somewhere in that vicinity of the shaded area. So if I want it on the corner and I'm using pitch trail on, it doesn't show me the arrows for movements because it's telling me, hey, if you get the best release possible here, we're gonna put it right there. And that's what pitch trail on is. When it says pitch trail fade, it means that the red line that you see over Kershaw's head will eventually fade over time. Classic fade means that the arrows will fade and the baseball will fade as well. So you won't even know where you're throwing that pitch at, to be completely honest with you. And that is basically it when it comes to the pitching settings and the best pitching settings available. Then we go to fielding. As I've said previously, you want to have button accuracy on. You want to go ahead and also have in-play view defense to your liking. I like having the same view defense as my view offense, so I have it on high as well. You want to have throw canceling on. You want to leave these settings right here as the defaults. Drifting ball for catch position indicator. Defensive shift, if you're a new player, you might want to leave this on auto. If you are a experienced player that likes doing their own shifts, you would put this on manual. I would also turn on off the wall ribbon. And then last but not least, when it comes to fielding aids, I would turn this on, and I would turn on also route to ball indicator, so you know the best route to take to the ball every single time. And that is basically it when it comes to the best settings in MLB The Show. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, once again, make sure to hit that like button or subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials at BladeMiz. If you want to become a member of the channel, feel free to do so. Also, channel, community tab, interact with me there. Channel, more BladeMiz, my other YouTube channels. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out.